Well, what a scene we have here. There's a real expectant buzz in the stadium, and the players on the pitch are raring to go any minute now. And the mood is boisterous. It is a perfect ambience for the central characters who are ready now to perform. There's the whistle.
Well, this 4-4-2 formation is often used in the modern era defensively, but it used to be the gold standard of formations a generation or so ago, Peter, and it does allow the fullbacks to play a key role in attack.
Yeah, they offer most of the width, don't they?
Exactly. You want them to be high up the pitch so they can get themselves into the final third whenever possible. This will, of course, ask an awful lot of the centre halves and the central midfielders who'll need to drop into position and cover the spaces.
He has found the way through. Now, can they get him away? Oh, nice touch. Well, that tackle was certainly sturdy. Bergomi did just about enough to come out on top there. Neither party overly willing to compromise. Well, the movement is slick, the speed is slippery. The defence, though, able to hold on this time. It's Lampard! Lampard! A legend of his time! About as smooth as it gets. Barcelona are in front. Oh, that was sharp. Deliciously sharp.
It would have taken something heroic from the keeper to get anything on that. The height was tricky enough, but the power, he had no chance.
Barcelona have taken the lead.
Well, I'd remind those players, Peter, that concentration will be key for a while now.
Hullet! He's done very well to get to that.
Hullet clearly thought he had the beating of the keeper.
And we have our very first corner. Rijkaard attempts a clearance. And shot a goal! Deftly away. Oh, that is a good ball to find him.
Well, he certainly wasn't in the mood to take any risks. Xabi Alonso really needed to concentrate on protecting the ball. Then again, he was being very closely marshalled.
Lampard. Hullet absolutely focused then on the defensive side of his game.
Yeah, listen, we often get critical of a forward's tackle, but that was squeaky clean.
Messi. There's some great running on show here, but ultimately there was no way through. Played out wide.
Okay, being behind at the break isn't ideal, but there's plenty of time to reply.
Oh, perfectly measured that. Now it's Luis Suarez. No, he's had it taken off him. Luis Suarez. That's a good ball out wide. And he's managed to get free. Great chance! Oh, that is a fair try. And it's half-time. A very combative, competitive half with just the one decisive moment. It's been compelling stuff.
Yeah, you don't get any points for stating the obvious, Peter, but thankfully this is still very savable. Keep things simple, keep the intensity high, and hope for an early goal. If that happens, it's a game changer.
Well, that is the first half done, and we are ready for what follows in the second. So we're straight back at it at the start of the second half.
Well, I think in these circumstances, it's all about how to adjust the balance of your team. I mean, you want to get back in it as soon as possible, but without leaving yourself too open.
Eto'o receives it in a wide position, and that has left him in a heap. Bale just loves to go forward whenever he can. Now it's Del Piero. He is through here. Vieira. Lampard.
Well, Peter, just see here how a lot of the attacking players aren't dropping back anymore.
And the shot! That is delicious! A finish right from the top drawer. And this is getting better and better. And a trademark move ends with the inevitable classy finish. Shapes to shoot! Yes! Up by 3. They have their boots on the throats of their foes. A momentary lapse mercilessly exploited. They were absolutely lethal.
Oh, that was beautifully done. They were ready.
Big chance! And that's in. Just cruising. They are cruising. They forced the error and extracted the maximum punishment.
Oh, look.
And that's it. So just time for me to say thanks to Jim for his wisdom and to wish you all a very good evening. So bring it on. Hype, expectation, emotion. The game yet to kick off. The excitement already palpable. Expectations and decibels both rising fast here. Things are heating up and we'll be getting underway very soon. There's the whistle and here we go.
Well, this 4-4-2 formation is often used in the modern era defensively, but it used to be the gold standard of formations a generation or so ago, Peter, and it does allow the fullbacks to play a key role in attack.
Van Basten! Keeper's not concerned by that.
Well, that always looked a little ambitious for me, but still, at least he had the confidence to take it on.
And it's Van Basten. Well, there are plenty who consider Marco van Basten to be the very epitome of excellence, and it's hard to argue with that, Jim, isn't it?
Certainly is. Everything he did was pretty much perfect. His positioning, his movement with and without the ball, the ability to receive it and turn away from defenders. And don't get me started about his finishing.
For sure, a name to strike fear into the hearts of goalkeepers everywhere. Beckham. Oh, he's going to be disappointed with that. De Bruyne. Now it's Hullet. Neither side yet able to force a breakthrough here. No, it's come to nothing. Van Basten.
Madrid really are one of these sides that pride themselves on their ability to maintain possession.
Yeah, and some would say... And Hullet! Rude Hullet! Oh, it's fabulous! About as smooth as it gets. And we have liftoff. One sweeping move executed with deadly efficiency.
Well, it's an example of counter-attacking at its finest. Real cut and thrust.
So the first goal of the game.
Yeah, but I think they all know too well that things are far from done here. And while there's never a good time to be caught out, you definitely don't want it to be now.
Serginho is one of the key ingredients in the team's attack. Almost half an hour in now. Nicely weighted. There's the shot! Delicious from Juve! A finish right from the top draw. And once more we are all square. You score, we score.
Yeah, since going a goal down, they've dug in to produce a really fine spell, which for me deserved that equaliser.
That is so good, such sharp skills and such a delicious finish.
And how easy did he make that look? That is supreme.
We're looking at a different game now.
Such a big goal, Peter. Just when the opposition thought they could turn the screw, they're back to square one again. The manager will be absolutely delighted with such a response.
He has found the way through. Pato. And the shot! Superb goal! They forced the error and extracted the maximum punishment.
The danger was always there, Peter. We all knew they'd be pouncing on any slip or any sort of indecision. They need to sharpen up or it's going to happen again.
Well, this is what we've been waiting for. Can he get on the end of this? Now it's Hullet. Nedved. Picked out big chance! Oh, wonderful! What a goal! That is a gem! An absolute gem! A quite incredible spell. They are flying. What a delicious goal, stroked in like a maestro.
That was magnificent. The way...
He's one on... Goes for a shot! It's a decent watch, a frantic watch. It is half-time.
Well, Peter, I think the score is a fair reflection of what we've witnessed so far, and that being good movement in both midfield and indeed up front. If those players, I think, can carry on where they left off after the break, they should impose themselves even more, and probably only one result coming here.
Well, we've been blessed with a goal-laden first half. 3-1 is the half-time score. We're on the move again. Pato threads one in. Real chance! Euphoria, utopia, and they are cavorting. And that was his 20th goal for this team. We knew what was coming, and he has and that's it. So thank you very much, Jim, for joining me. That brings us to the end of our coverage. So from us both, a very good evening. Well, football is, of course, ultimately just a game, but for the next 2 hours, it might not feel like that. The stadium is full of noise and energy. This certainly matters. Colours vivid and vibrant, songs loud and proud. The tone for this game is well and truly set. So off we go then.
Well, this 4-4-2 formation is often used in the modern era defensively, but it used to be the gold standard of formations a generation or so ago, Peter, and it does allow the fullbacks to play a key role in attack.
Yeah, they offer most of the width, don't they?
Exactly. You want them to be high up the pitch so they can get themselves into the final third whenever possible. This will, of course, ask an awful lot of the centre halves and the central midfielders who need to drop into position and cover the spaces.
And it's Nedved. Jim, you've played in games of this nature. Who can make the difference?
Well, Peter, Aurelian Tchouameni is someone I see as being a real tour de force in that midfield. He's a tireless worker. I've heard so many people say he's just a nightmare to try and get away from. A real destroyer whose abilities on the counter-press are very potent.
Yes, getting the best out of him will count for so much. That's a little off target. There's a beautiful simplicity about this contest. Willing running on one side, dogged defence on the other.
The worst choice he could pick. He needed to get his head up and see the outlet to his right.
Maldini cuts out the pass. Xavi Alonso, and the counter is on. Well, the boss won't be happy about that at all. They were pedestrian in possession and carried almost no threat at all. No, he wasn't going to let him past. Looking for a runner. That's good vision. Nice interception. His positioning was spot on. Back they go.
Modern football for you and all that pressing.
Cherki. Great defending, strong and determined. Xavi Alonso. Oh, he's going to be disappointed with that. And here's Eto'o. Cafu. And he was alert to it. Pepe. And it's Xavi Alonso. Now it's Hullet. And it's Lam. Lam making good progress. And that has left him in a heap. Kukçu did just about enough to come out on top there. Neither party overly willing to compromise. Cherki. Oh, that's a key interception. Messi. Here's Vieira. Xavi Alonso. And here's Cruyff. Cherki. That's it, 45 minutes up. It hasn't been a bad watch, not by any means. The intensity levels are there. We've just lacked that telling breakthrough moment. Any opinion you'd like to express on the first half?
Well, it's been nothing but frustration, really, Peter. I think the team as a whole has to take more risks, but they really need to up their quality too.
So, both teams still stuck on the starting blocks here. 0-0 at the break. Back on the way then.
Well, I can imagine both managers have been in the ears of the players. They want more. Let's hope the game comes to life sooner rather than later.
And this is Forlan. Now, who's going to be first to this? Cruyff. Messi. Very much a man of this moment. Great ball if he can get there. He's had a shot! It's there! And a trademark move ends with the inevitable classy finish.
Well, it's an example of counter-attacking at its finest. Real cut and thrust.
So the first goal of the game.
And talk about the perfect time to score. The manager's giving nothing away, but he'll be thrilled inside.
So, Jim, is that the manager telling the forwards that they must stay forward for now?
Well, I think he just is concentrating on the shape here, and he wants them to press as high as they can and get in the right position to do that collectively.
Cherky scooting forward. And here's Forlan. No, he's had it taken off him. Well, they're looking at the referee, but he's waved play on.
Well, it's definitely the right attitude and application, Peter. They've got to keep pushing.
Well, they're looking a whole lot more urgent now.
Well, the question now is whether they can sustain it.
And that has been cut short. Midfield is offering some sort of an apology there.
Well, that's down to a simple miscalculation. No more, no less.
And that is expertly dealt with. Now it's Hullet. Your impression so far, Jim?
Well, I'm inclined to feel that if I was in that dugout, I'd want the players to get on the front foot and grab another. Just try to make this one safe.
And if you have just joined us, still just one goal between them. 1-0 the score.
Well, there's plenty to like about this approach. Get your head down, keep battling away, and eventually things might change for you.
And here's Forlan, and this is Eto'o. Maldini clears without hesitation. And that's really well manoeuvred. Aimed beyond the defence. Kukcu is always scanning the pitch for targets. Nice control.
I think we're about to see a frenetic finish. No half measures from here.
And here's Forlan. So that's it. It is all over. Well, that was tense. Boy, that was tense. The two sides separated by the game's only goal. Xavi Alonso taking in the accolades, having been named man of the match. So bring it on. Hype, expectation, emotion. The game yet to kick off. The excitement already palpable. The San Siro for nigh on a century, Milan's power base, the ultimate status symbol of their glorious history. So it's down to business here. According to what we've been told, this is how it looks. It's a 4-3-3.
Yes, and the importance of this formation is not to allow the midfield three and the attacking three to become too detached from one another. If that happens, then pressure can quickly be applied via the counter-attack, and you can be exposed defensively. So compactness can't be compromised, and you need talkers in this team. You need leaders and people that are willing to organise things very quickly.
Can he get it through? Eto'o. That is good strength. Oh, he's got a crucial block in there. Vieira, defending his corner stubbornly, stood up very well to his man. Now, can they get him away? Great vision. Now it's Messi. Well, that pass surprised everyone, and not in a good way. Schneider.
That was lovely, that. It's not the game we were hoping for, Peter. I think both of these keepers could text about their respective uninvolvement.
Yamal. Now then, the ball's come loose. Now it's Nedved. Lahm has the space to scheme. Cleared without hesitation. And here's Hullet. And he's heaved it away. Nicked it back promptly. Not the most accurate pass. Pepe. Vieira. Xavi Alonso. Now it's Hullet. He's having a pop! Ambitious, but just off target.
Yep, certainly could have been something so much more.
Messi. He's on it. Can he get away? Milan have got it back and they'll have another go. Xavi Alonso. Nedved plays the game a step ahead of almost anyone. And that interception was most necessary.
He read that really well and stopped it.
Oh, good read.
That was well played, well stopped.
Oh, well played, well sorted out. Stood up well to him there. Xavi Alonso, nicely shaped ball. So, a temporary halt to the action. It hasn't been a bad watch, not by any means. The intensity levels are there. We've just lacked that telling breakthrough moment. So, your views on the first half?
Well, I wouldn't say it was the most potent performance, Peter, but defensively, very composed. The scoreline might still be 0-0, but I'm expecting things to open up a bit more in this second half.
So we are still where we were at the beginning. It is 0-0 at the break. So we're straight back at it at the start of the second half.
Well, I can imagine both managers have been in the ears of the players. They want more. Let's hope the game comes to life sooner rather than later.
Cute ball now. How can he reach it? Oh, he's burst through. He's played it long. Conte. Now that's well seen too. Messi, very much a man of this moment. Caught offside that time. two coaches are signalling changes here, both at the same time. So a couple of front-footed alterations here, a pair of forwards entering the field.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what system they'll be playing with now, Peter. Well, that was well positioned and well pinched. They can't hurt with their backs to goal.
And there's a searching pass. Fail! And that's a sharp finish. Another moment of magic, a real wow moment.
Well, I think he was saying to his teammates, how dare you doubt me?
And very quickly, the substitute made his mark.
That's just as the manager would have seen it, an impact sub.
So the first goal of the game.
It's so often the case with goal scorers, little influence, and all of a sudden, bang.
Can he get on the end of this? There's some great running on show here, but ultimately there was no way through. So, Jim, what are you thinking?
There's a lot of football still to be played, Peter, so ideally they need to maintain an attacking endeavour.
Well, momentarily the situation was perilous, but his alertness has saved the day.
If you were looking at the shopping list of what you need in a top defender, that's it.
Oh, now here's an interesting matchup. Messi. And if you have just joined us, still just one goal between them. And the score is 1-0.
I think the message here is quite clear, Peter. They won another one and will seemingly keep going.
Shot a goal! And that's a good finish. And surely that clinches it. There really is no way back now. The movement so precise, the finish sumptuous. And that's it. Well, that's it for tonight's match, so it just remains for me to thank Jim Beglin alongside me and to wish you... Well, what a scene we have here. There's a real expectant buzz in the stadium and the players on the pitch are raring to go any minute now. Colours vivid and vibrant, songs loud and proud. The tone for this game is well and truly set. So we're up and running. Jim, who do you reckon is pivotal?
Yeah, Jordan Pickford. He's a great all-round goalkeeper, Peter. Great at shot stopping and dominant in his box. He also gets counter-attacks going with his accurate long passes. The opposition should be a little wary of committing too many men forward to attack, because if it does break down, this guy can get them in trouble pretty quickly.
He would be the obvious choice, wouldn't he? He certainly has. He's going for goal! Loose ball now, and there's a chase. And another try! It's in!
Well, they would have been looking at him to produce the goods, and that was very kind of him to oblige so early.
Not so much sophistication as doggedness and sheer bloody-mindedness.
That's really good anticipation too, Peter. Just instinctively knew where the ball would be and where he needed to put himself.
And the finish! Some good work on the right flank here. Messi going like a man possessed at the moment. Nedved. This might spell danger. Oh, what has happened here? So just the one early goal to report so far. 1-0 the score. Mateus. Bergomi makes the interception. Looking for options for movement. Rijkaard. And this is Cruyff. Cruyff! It's in! A quite incredible spell. They are flying. The movement so precise, the finish sumptuous.
Well, it's an example of counter-attacking at its finest. Real cut and thrust.
Things starting to look very comfortable.
Well, that's a real psychological weight off the shoulders, I think. It's a very different game now at 2 up.
Well, the defence just about came out on top, but they were certainly tested. Whatever he had in mind, that was not it. Oh, easy pickings there. And it's Roberto Carlos. Some intricate passing. And Batistuta! And he was there to get a vital touch.
Batistuta really must be thinking what he has to do to score there.
And we have our very first corner. Maldini tries to clear. And now they can spring out of defence. And he welcomes it in. Not a hint of offside here. He'll try from distance. Cruyff! No one quite like him! Oh, it really is a finish of the highest order. Again, in a trice, and they are soaring. You just know there is no stopping that.
And I think he's even surprised himself, Peter, in how well he caught that.
3-0, and things are starting to look awfully cosy. And here's Messi. Time and again they are repelled. Del Piero. And here's the chance to counter. Cruyff. There he goes, motoring forward. He saw the danger and he went crashing in. Goes for the shot! And that marks a high-octane end to the first half. Well, the mood in the two camps couldn't be more different as they go in for half-time. Elation on one side, misery on the other.
It's an eye-catching scoreline, but it's a fair reflection on what we've just seen in this first half, Peter. Now they just need to make sure they retain their focus until the very end. No slip-ups.
It's hard to believe we're only at half-time. The lead is 3, but for how long? It's anyone's guess. So straight into the second half. That pass has been well intercepted.
That's alert and sharp and very well played.
And here's Batistuta. And that's been intercepted. Now it's Del Piero.
That was lovely, that.
Nicely weighted ball. And that's Alonso! Oh, wonderful! What a goal! He's got himself an absolute peach. His utter joy. He engages with absolute happiness. Well, no goalkeeper would keep that out. It really was a bullet.
I think it was probably past the keeper before he even saw it. Incredible he got so much power with so little backlift.
Things looking so easy, almost too easy here. And that is exemplary defending.
That is superb defensive work. The one man who had to be on top of his game.
Shoots! And he steered it beyond the post.
I think that's just more proof that this team is very comfortable playing on the break. They're really swift.
Well, football is, of course, ultimately just a game, but for the next 2 hours, it might not feel like that. The stadium is full of noise and energy. This certainly matters. Just listen to that noise. This place is definitely up for it. Let's hope we get a contest worthy of the setting. So it's down to business here. Well, this is a guy who has pushed back the boundaries year on year. A brilliant maverick who just, Jim, seems to go on and on.
Yeah, he's simply the boss, Peter. Everyone else, including us, just a supporting cast in an act where he will always take centre stage.
In the Zlatan show, Zlatan is the only star.
I'm not arguing.
Oh, he's going to be disappointed with that. Plays a sharp little ball here. And the finish! And he's there to belt it away.
They'll want to make the most of this turnover.
And they're quick to get it back. And this is Del Piero. Del Piero finds himself offside. Played back into the centre. Silvestre. Vieira ventures forward. Pepe spots it and intercepts. And it's Lampard. Passing nice and neat. Still goalless at the moment. He's through here. Now can he find a finish? Whistle's gone and the referee has given a penalty. So a big chance now from 12 yards. The major moment in the game. 1-0, just one winner. A time for a cool head, and that is precisely what he showed.
Should we have ever doubted him? Cool as you like.
So we have the first goal.
Well, I guess this ought to make things interesting, Peter. No doubt the opposition will now be forced to play a more open and riskier game.
He's picked his way through. Well, the movement is slick, the speed is slippery. The defence, though, able to hold on this time. And there's the shot! Off the post! And we have our very first corner. And that has earned a reprieve for the time being. Now the ball's gone astray. Now it's Cruyff. And Cruyff! And a terrific save from the keeper.
Cruyff really must be thinking what he has to do to score there.
Corner number 2 then. Loose ball now, and there's a chase on to retrieve it. And again! Pullet absolutely focused then on the defensive side of his game.
He's dealt with that very well, Peter. It's a real show of discipline.
Knocks it into space. Shot could be... Shot a goal! Thiago, a player whose confidence, whose sense of adventure rubs off on all of those around him. Donnarumma gets his hands on it, and the danger is averted. And if you have just joined us, still just one goal between them. 1-0 the score. Well, it is clear to see that he is not at all happy with that.
Well, the pass wasn't good enough, and he knows it.
And this is Cruyff. Big chance! One-on-one! There's a no-nonsense tackle. And the referee says that that is that for the first half. Well, there were plenty of talking points in that first half, but just the one goal. It's still anybody's game here.
Well, I don't mind admitting I wasn't expecting that. Still, I'm not complaining about a very good match with a surprising scoreline. Just don't ask me for a prediction, please.
So it has been pretty frantic here. Everybody eagerly awaiting the start of the second half. So just the keeper, it shoots! And it's in! 2 up and in charge, and things are looking pretty good for them now.
Yeah, that's really well played, Peter. It's very, very simple. The ball through to him was just beautifully measured.
So that's 2 now without reply.
Well, that's a real psychological weight off the shoulders, I think. It's a very different game now at 2 up.
Now it's Cruyff. And that's another good win of the ball. Oh, nicely intercepted.
Well, yet another interception and a show of anticipation to be commended.
And here's Shevchenko. That is a brilliant interception. Barcelona appear to be happy to let their front players stay up front all the time.
Well, it's signalling to the opposition that they're setting themselves up for the counter-attack. It's plain and simple.
Barcelona can breathe again, just.
Simply brilliant defending. They were outnumbered, but he still came out on top.
Nedved. Now it's Del Piero. Now that's well seen too. Pepe. Threads one in. Tries a shot! It's hit the upright. Dealt with nicely by the defence. And it's Messi. Rijkaard, defending his corner stubbornly, stood up very well to his man. Oh, that's a key interception. Lampard, pull it. Half an hour gone in the second half. Pepe cuts out the pass. And it's Lampard. And it's been played through. Oh, shooting chance! He's been taken down and the referee has pointed at the spot. Donnarumma to save this spot kick and his team. Calm as you like, and they're running away with it. Not a twitch, not a blink.
I just think the keeper committed himself too early.
And it didn't take him long. Just sitting on the bench and waiting moments ago, already he has scored.
That's just as the manager would have seen it, an impact sub.
Bullet! Oh, brilliant save.
They want to be quick here. It's breakaway time.
Lee Kang-in. Ibrahimovic. Conte. Aimed beyond the defence. Oh, lovely bit of skill. That's good running with the ball. Decent chance! Azar. And this is Hullet. And Hullet! Superb from Hullet! Sumptuous finish, an absolute joy! They are gorging themselves here on a serious... And that's that. Well, that was a tale of two very different teams. One driven, ruthless, prolific. The other quite the opposite in all of those areas. Well, what a sight this is. A beautiful evening and the promise of a match that will really get the juices flowing. I'm Peter Drury, and it's a pleasure to be alongside Jim Beglin.
Thanks for that, Peter, and may I say a big hello to everyone.
Expectations and decibels both rising fast here. Things are heating up and we'll be getting underway very soon. And that gets things running. Who do you, Jim, see making the difference here?
Well, this guy, Theo Hernandez, for me, has evolved into one of the best fullbacks, Peter. Certainly in terms of attacking contributions, you'd be hard-pressed to find someone as good as he is in the final third, especially with the movement that allows him to receive the ball in those little pockets of space.
Yeah, he'll certainly be leaving his mark on this game, quite possibly actually at both ends. Oh, that's a key interception. Deftly away. It's a good spell of possession, this. And Hullet! And he was there to get a vital touch.
Hullet actually didn't do an awful lot wrong, to be honest.
And we have our very first corner. De Bruyne can get it clear. Oh, now he's had a shot! Oh, that was wicked, a truly wicked effort.
Well, that was certainly bold, Peter. He's never short on confidence.
No goals as yet. Can he get on the end of this? De Bruyne can see things others simply cannot. Batistuta is herring after that one. Bergomi. And this is Pato. Oh, well played. That has snuffed out the danger. And it's Olmo. Messi. Now it's Pato. Nedved. Picked out. Hullet! It's a loose ball. Lofted upfield. And it's Xavi Alonso. Hullet.
Well, he got rid because he was under pressure.
And they're back on the ball again.
Well, that's good defending. He squeezed the play and he gave him no chance to get on the turn.
And here's Hullet. And he thumps it clear. Nice sequence of passes, this. Oh, and Hullet! Now, who's going to be first to this?
Well, the keeper seemed to go into study mode then, and he's read it beautifully.
Intercepts the throw, that's well read. So still we are where we began. It's 0-0. And here's Hullet. Oh, cracking ball. That is lovely. Pato! Goal!
Well, that's very much changed the complexion. It's also changed mindsets and moods in both teams, and it had to be him.
And he stuck it away as if laser guided.
Just way too good, Peter. The keeper was never going to stop it.
Madrid can now introduce the first of their substitutes.
Yeah, they're looking for some imagination, and his job's going to be to add that element of craft and guile, the man pulling the strings.
So the first moment of real significance.
Well, I think the managers are going to have to scrap.
And the whistle goes for half-time. So a steady, solid and more than satisfactory first half. They've got the lead, and that gives them something to build on after the break.
There's plenty of positives to take despite the lead being so small, Peter. I think playing well, good energy, a little more composure up front perhaps. That's not too much to ask.
So it has been pretty frantic here. Everybody eagerly awaiting the start of the second half. And we are back underway.
Well, my advice would be to keep at it. If you're doing well, keep it going.
He steps in, and that's the end of that. Xavi Alonso. Nedved. It's Pato! That is a super hit, but it was always just off target.
Well, that was smashed with venom, violence even. All he had to do was hit the target. It's such a shame.
He's had it taken off him. Still just a single goal between the sides. And here's Hullet. Played out towards the right wing. And here's Hullet. That's destined for the flank.
Well, he certainly wasn't in the mood to take any risks.
Szoboszlai. Good ball, good take. Pato! That was quite a hit. Ball is over the line. Your impression so far, Jim?
Well, it's a natural instinct to defend when ahead, but it's too early for them to settle into that practice just now.
And it's Szoboszlai. Nicked it back promptly. Lam is one of those players who's known for reading the game better than anyone. And Hullet! Again, a brilliant save. This is their second corner of the game. Oh, great leap! And no mistake. Two to the good, and they are purring. Absolutely purring. Great corner, and he did the rest.
Yeah, it all came from some really smart movement, Peter. Did the defence let themselves down by not picking him up? I think the boss won't be amused.
So that's two now without reply.
Well, now's the time you can afford to be more daring, Peter. It may be tempting to sit on this, but I'd say go and grab a third.
Short changes him with that pass. Great vision. And it's been played through. Oh, that's an excellent interception. Dealt with nicely by the defence. And here's Vieira. Very nicely done. Messi! That is some save from Khan.
He was berating his defence before making the save, and he's at it again now.
Messi. They get a throw in. That's a sharp pass. Goes looking wide.
Oh, really well played.
He has found the way through. Oh, lovely feed. He is such a good mover. Looking for the far post. Cross deflected behind for a corner. So can they do it again? Szoboszlai clears. Applies the finish! Time added on 4 minutes. And we're done. So smiles all round as they shamelessly indulge in the post-whistle euphoria. A win achieved through the right balance of industry and inspiration. A really satisfying day's work. Pato picking up the Man of the Match award, and no surprise. So bring it on. Hype, expectation, emotion. The game yet to kick off. The excitement already palpable. Well, it looks like a big game, sounds like a big game. Everyone involved is absolutely up for it. There's the whistle.
The midfield three, Peter, I think are going to be key in this lineup because it's a very expansive system.
Yeah, it certainly looks a very front-footed approach.
It is, and with the front three, especially the wide men, running at and beyond the defence, there's going to be an awful lot asked of the midfield. They have to supply those balls the attack can run onto, while at the same time maintaining the team's overall shape by...
Mbappe!
Well, he got rid because he was under pressure.
And he's been shifted off it. Lovely pass, but can he get there?
That's just playing it safe and simple.
That's headed upfield. Raul. Good running, strong and purposeful. Great vision. Well timed, excellent interception. If you have just joined us, well, you've missed no goals. Brilliantly cut out. That's really well cleared. Silvestre getting forward. Well, that defending is unapologetically persistent. It's almost personal, and it had to be. And that was nowhere near his best. Saliba. And it's a crossfield ball towards the other flank.
Nepal really look like a team that's set up to absorb pressure. They don't mind being on...
Header! Against the crossbar. There it is! He'll take that. Perhaps not the prettiest, but they all count.
That's really good anticipation too, Peter. Just instinctively knew where the ball would be and where he needed to put himself.
Nepal have taken the lead.
It's so often the case with goal scorers, little influence, and all of a sudden, bang.
Knocks it into space.
Well, he certainly wasn't in the mood to take any risks.
And this is Xavi Alonso. Well, the defence just about came out on top, but they were certainly tested. Bergomi wins the duel this time. Maldini. Aim forwards. Chance! And that has earned a few nods of approval from the bench. And we have our very first corner. He's rising! And it's hit the woodwork and out! And that's a tidy finish. They have hauled themselves right back into it.
Well, it looks like we have ourselves a real game here now, Peter. They've been rewarded for their courage, for their attitude, for their application, and now they'll want another.
Vieira duly reaps his reward, kept his cool whilst the defence lost their bearings.
Yeah, he showed great reactions there. Right place, right time, easy pickings.
We're looking at a different game now.
Well, this is to be expected, Peter. When you've got two strong teams of fairly equal standing, the outcome should all come down to finishing.
Well seen, saw that coming.
That's great positioning, so good from him.
Plays it across. And we've reached half-time. Nothing to separate the two teams at half-time. They've both given it a really good go, and they head into the break all square. Reflections on the first half?
Well, both sides would have expected a closely fought match, and that's pretty much what we've got so far. The early exchanges, I think, in this second half will be worth keeping an eye on to see if any adjustments have been made to change things.
Well, it has been tight, it's been competitive. Each side with one significant moment, and at half-time the score is 1-1. And so the action is resumed. Pele. Well, the movement is slick, the speed is slippery. The defence, though, able to hold on this time. And no, that was never going to make it. Short changes him with that pass. And he's in on goal. And a chance! Not a bad try by any means.
Well, there wasn't too much wrong with his effort. He needs to get on the ball again and give it another crack. I would.
Nice looking ball. Well, that has not gone well. Well, the idea was a good one. The execution of it, not quite so.
Yeah, he just didn't seem to get enough on the pass, Peter, did he?
Quarter of an hour into the second half. Looking for options for movement. Rodri. Pele can see things others simply cannot. And he's made sure that's not getting through. And he can thump it away.
A lot of space here, a real opportunity.
And there's his chance to lead the counter. And here's Pato. And it's Nedved. It's Nedved! Beautiful from Nedved! That is a gem! An absolute gem! And the game is well and truly turned on its head. Well, how's that for a class finish?
Well, he's a defender's nightmare. You try to send him one way, and he just slips the other.
So we have movement on both benches. Well, this is what we've been waiting for.
Yeah, I always felt this was coming. There was a clear increase in both intensity and tempo. Now all they need is to try and maintain it.
He's having a shot!
Well, it's definitely the right attitude and application, Peter. They've got to keep pushing.
This is a really front-footed approach.
I think they just have to keep forcing the issue and they'll get clinical.
And here's Nedved. Oh, good ball!
I think the message here is quite clear, Peter. They want another one and will seemingly keep going until they get it.
And he's heaved it away. And here's Stojkovic. Stojkovic. I think we're just about done here. Zanetti gets across to intercept that. And here's Shevchenko. And he can clear it away.
Look, there has to be more urgency here. The ball has to get to the other end much faster.
Plays a sharp little ball here. And this is Cruyff. And this is Griezmann. Not the most accurate pass. And that will be it. They are pumped. Boy, they're pumped. A tough win earned through the power of will. And this place is bouncing. Vieira taking in the accolades, having been named man of the match, and deservedly so. Well, from behind, Jim, that is some win, isn't it?
This has been a very composed response when trailing. There was no sense of...
Well, football is, of course, ultimately just a game, but for the next 2 hours, it might not feel like that. The stadium is full of noise and energy. This certainly matters. Well, it looks like a big game, sounds like a big game. Everyone involved is absolutely up for it. There's the whistle, and here we go.
Well, this 4-4-2 formation is often used in the modern era defensively, but it used to be the gold standard of formations a generation or so ago, Peter, and it does allow the fullbacks to play a key role in attack.
Yeah, they offer most of the width, don't they?
Exactly. You want them to be high up the pitch so they can get themselves into the final third whenever possible. This will, of course, ask them...
Tries a shot!
The keeper was likely to need his best there, and he found it.
Pressing high and with purpose.
Well, Peter, it's a joy to have a chance to watch one of the finest to emerge from the African continent, Samuel Eto'o. He backs up his goals with a really strong work rate, and he's always effective, whether on or off the ball.
Yeah, fantastic talisman for his nation.
And more disciplined than people.
He's had a shot! They want to be quick to recover this. Costa Curta. Well, the movement is slick, the speed is slippery. The defence, though, able to hold on this time. Gerrard. Stojkovic getting forward. It's gone out for a throw-in. No goals as yet.
That's positional gold, the utilisation of space.
He is through here. Cannavaro did well to emerge with the ball. That's a contest to keep an eye on. Stojkovic, he's got away. And that would have been some goal.
Stojkovic can really show some outlandish skills, which is always welcome and obviously refreshing.
Hullet! Now he wants to get in on the act here.
Well, the breakthrough hasn't come yet, Peter, but you do feel they're upping the ante here. They'll get their reward if they can stick at this.
Wan-Bissaka. Some good work on the right flank here. Cannavaro. Still waiting for the game's first breakthrough goal. Well, that has not gone well. This is a promising build-up. Gerrard. And he was alert to it. And he's there to get it away. Nedved conjures time and space where few can. Oh, easy pickings there. And it's Pato. And here's Hullet. And here's Nedved. This might... Decent chance! And a terrific save from the keeper.
Hullet really must be thinking what he has to do to score there.
And this could be the final action of the first half. Chance, surely! Oh, that is a fair try. And it's half-time. So we go in at half-time with both defences still yet to be breached. They rather cancelled each other out in the first period. Let us see what the second half brings. The midway point of the game.
Well, it was great to see them try to turn their possession and chances into a goal. They definitely wanted one before the break, and okay, while it didn't happen, things could start changing if they can continue in the same manner.
Well, it's been a half that hasn't lacked suspense or intrigue. It's only lacked goals. 0-0 at the break. And we're already back up and running after half-time. So the first half brought no goals. Oh, that's sweet, almost telepathic. Hullet. Oh, we expected better, and so did he. Gerrard. Oh, it's a nice idea, but the execution was lacking. Bergomi. And it's Pato. Still waiting for the game to take off here. 0-0. Looking for the run. Oh, that's a key interception. Well, the run has been sold a little bit short there.
Well, I think the opposition saw that pass coming a mile off, and it wasn't the best decision.
Now it's Hullet. Henderson gets over and intercepts. Stojkovic venturing down the left. He steps in, and that's the end of that. Oh, here's a man adored by many, even deified by some. And this is Hullet, and this is Messi. Tries to play it through.
That's just playing it safe and simple.
No breakthrough and well into the second period. It is still anyone's game. And this is a chance! Oh, nearly, but not quite.
You can never be too safe with someone like him around. They got away with that.
So we have movement on both benches. Wan-Bissaka. Cannavaro. Looking to pass their way up the pitch. Threads one in. Now there's a fine ball.
There's much frustration as to the lack of a touch to finish that off. Portugal really can't be faulted for their attitude, and if they go on to win this, it'll be fully deserved.
And here's Eto'o. No, he wasn't going to be fooled.
I think we might be done here, Peter. I don't see there being enough time for them to try again.
Messi. Messi going forward. Oh, there's a probing ball. The shrill sound of the whistle, and that is that. So we finish as we started. Try as they might, neither was able to break through. How do you look back on the game? Well, what a sight this is. The colour, the choreography, the camaraderie. The fans have pulled out all the stops to make this a monumental occasion. Colours vivid and vibrant, songs loud and proud. The tone for this game is well and truly set. So we're up and running.
I think we can look forward to another striking masterclass from Van Basten here, Peter.
Well, many have cited him as the greatest striker of all time, but what in your eyes made him that, Jim?
Well, in a word, everything, Peter. He had it all. Pace, power, technique, vision, dribbling, strength in the air. He's a cut above the rest in all departments, and brilliant imagination.
And he's had it nicked away. He steps in, and that's the end of that. Now it's Hullet. And it's Hullet. Davids. Nedved. Good running, strong and purposeful. Hullet. Perez. Perez running with intent. And that's gone loose. Picked out brilliantly. Couldn't squeeze it through. And it's Davids. Pepe tries to clear. Still goalless at the moment. He's got away. Pato. Oh, lovely feed. He is such a good mover. Pato! And it's been hooked away. Perez.
Barcelona definitely have the look of a team that likes to counter-attack, Peter.
Yeah, that is clear. Just look at how they line up.
Well, in other words, they don't mind being patient.
Pepe attempts a clearance. Hullet, the magician-in-chief, his feet twinkling. Well, that's beautifully weighted. He's found a way through. Cannavaro clears without hesitation. And he's there to retrieve it. So still we are where we began. It's 0-0. Xavi Alonso. Pato. 5 minutes till the break. Hullet. Takes the shot! Rude Hullet! Oh, it's fabulous!
Well, what a great goal from a great player. An absolutely glorious strike, just when no one expected it. A real mood changer right on half-time too. Now, all of a sudden, they're going into the break on a real high.
And a trademark move ends with the inevitable classy finish.
Yeah, when you're hit on the counter-attack like that, it's like walking into a sucker punch, and they're dazed.
So the first goal of the game.
Well, I think the managers are going to have to...
And that is the end of the first half. Well, it's certainly simmered along nicely so far. Just the one goal in it, and it's all still very much up for grabs. How do you look back on the first 45 minutes?
Well, I think it's a case of so far, so good. The boss has clearly done his homework, and I don't think he needs to change much during the break. Now they've got the lead, they can expect more of the same in the second half.
So it has been pretty frantic here. Everybody eagerly awaiting the start of the second half. Down to business again.
Well, if you're ahead, it's a good time to start moving the ball quicker, Peter. Entice your opponents out. See if you can open them up a bit more.
And he lines up a cross. And it's claimed by the keeper. Now it's Hullet.
If they want to counter, they could do with more speed.
And it's Nedved. Xavi Alonso. And this is Hullet. Well, the movement is slick, the speed is slippery. The defence, though, able to hold on this time. And he was alert to it. Still just a single goal between the sides. And here's Van Basten. Messi. Can he finish? And he looked every bit the assured keeper there.
Really anticipated that well, didn't he?
And we have our very first corner. Cleared away. Belletti. In towards the back stick. And he's cleared it back out. He shifted it to the flank. Bergomi produces the perfect tackle there. Oh, good effort!
Well, he got rid because he was under pressure. Barcelona really are going about things in the right fashion, Peter. It's great to see.
It's Midfield! It's run loose. Oh, what has happened here? That's a decent clearance. No, not quite on the same wavelength. And that's going wide left. Neither of these two want to come off second best. A mixture of good defending and indecisive passing. No progress. Looking to play him in. That's the keeper's ball.
Barcelona really are showing all the necessary urgency, but it's potency they need.
That's a cute ball. Looking for options for movement. 1-0 as we head towards the end. Nedved conjures time and space where few can.
I thought it was going to happen then. How many more chances can they realistically expect now?
He's rising! Oh, he's managed to get himself offside. Zanetti does really well to win the ball there. Well, the runner's been sold a little bit short there.
Well, I think the opposition saw that pass coming a mile off, and it wasn't the best decision.
Now that's well seen too. And that will be the final act. Well, that was tense. Boy, that was tense. The two sides separated by the game's only goal. Bullet claiming the Man of the Match award, and there is very little room for argument. So what do you take away from it all, Jim?
Well, it may be smiles all round, Peter, but it's a game that's given the boss some food for thought. Good result, yes, but they really could have done with making life easier. All it would have needed was just to take another chance or two.
And all that remains for me is to thank Jim Beglin. That's it from us tonight. A very good evening to one and all. Well, what a sight this is. The colour, the choreography, the camaraderie. The fans have pulled out all the stops to make this a monumental occasion. Expectations and decibels both rising fast here. Things are heating up and we'll be getting underway very soon. So it's away we go then.
In a system like this, Peter, the winger-fullback combinations can be absolutely crucial.
Yeah, and no doubt you could expand on that for us, Jim.
Well, there's just so many potential options and movements. Overlapping, underlapping, wingers vacating spaces to be occupied by fullbacks, coming inside, creating overloads down the middle on either flank. You get those right, and this can be a very effective system.
A tried and tested formula.
And believe it or not, Peter, we even did that back in my day.
Knocks it into space. So, Jim, tell me this. Who are you looking for in particular here?
Well, Peter, I think the role Jude Bellingham will be given will be important here. He's like a combination of a number 8 and a number 6. Great defensively. Very aggressive too in going after the ball. But he's also a very neat dribbler. So not the type to stay put. And I'm sure we'll see a lot of that today.
Yeah, I'd have picked him too. No doubt the fans feel much the same way. Well, the defence just about came out on top, but they were certainly tested. Now it's Hullet. Maldini with the clearance. And it's been given away. He has found the way through. It is a corner, good chance. And we have our very first corner. Maldini getting this one clear. Messi carries the ball down the right. Chance! And that is doing no harm at all.
Well, I suppose he was being urged to shoot. Maybe the crowd will stay a little quieter next time.
Vieira gathers from the goal kick. Engages and forces him off the ball.
Hullet really needed to concentrate on protecting the ball. Then again, he was being very closely marshalled.
Well, the defence proved infallible then, but that won't be the last they'll see of him. And that interception was most necessary.
That's great positioning, so good from him.
Just 5 minutes left until the break. And that's really well manoeuvred. Messi. Hullet. Pato. Oh, shooting chance! He's delivered all right!
I think this is a very welcome time for a goal, Peter. There was a momentary drop-off into defence, and he was just too good a player to miss that. A special talent has given us all a very special memory.
And that is indeed the final act. A very combative, competitive half with just the one decisive moment. It's been compelling stuff.
I think on the whole the team linked up very well and has been organised. Hence their position. They can afford to be a little braver with the ball, I think. Something they'll be told many times, I'm sure, during the interval.
So it has been pretty frantic here. Everybody eagerly awaiting the start of the second half. So we're straight back at it at the start of the second half.
Well, if you're ahead, it's a good time to start moving the ball quicker, Peter. Entice your opponents out. See if you can open them up a bit more.
That pass is somewhat less than ideal.
They should have done a lot better there. The final ball was very poor.
Lovely pass, but can he get there? Pato. He is just caressing the ball. Pato! A wonderful effort all by himself.
Well, that was really good running. The more he moved with it, the more he realised that taking the shot was his only option.
It's Pato! And a chance! Well, now it's a race for the ball. Now it's Pato. Vieira.
They'll want to be quick here. It's breakaway time.
Bellingham making good progress on the right-hand side. And it's Royce. Royce going forward. Maldini. And he's there to retrieve it. So, Jim, what are you thinking?
Peter, they're leaving nobody guessing now. This is a decisive attempt to go further in front.
Cannavaro. And this is Nedved. He's shifting through the gears here.
FC Tulsa definitely have the look of a team that likes to counter-attack, Peter.
Yeah, that is clear. Just look at how they line up.
Well, in other words, they don't mind being patient. FC Tulsa really are going for it here, Peter. Now it's just a matter of sustaining the effort.
There is an irresistible, irrepressible shot at goal! Goal! There seemed no way back, but they are level. One sweeping move executed with deadly efficiency.
Just when they thought they may be in at one end, they end up shipping a goal at the other, and it's all due to wonderful counter-attacking. They hardly had time to even react, and there's only one word to describe that: clinical.
So we have movement on both benches. We're looking at a different game now.
Well, at this stage, Peter, it's going to come down to how badly they want to win this. Well, there's no doubt that they want to win this, Peter. They'll have to maintain the energy and dynamism until the very end, though.
And this is Del Piero! Oh, it's hit the post! And he's there to get it away. Taken back almost at once. It's a searching pass. Cute ball now, how can he reach it?
Well, that might be that, Peter. Maybe both sides just going to have to settle for the draw now.
Seedorf plays the game a step ahead of almost anyone. Not too much to add on here, just a minute. That's that, the end. A draw and a highly unpredictable one. Fair share of momentum shifts, highly entertaining until the very end. How do you look back on the game then, Jim?
Well, Peter,
So bring it on. Hype, expectation, emotion. The game yet to kick off. The excitement already palpable. And the mood is boisterous. It is a perfect ambience for the central characters who are ready now to perform. Things already rolling. With so many teams now playing just one up front, Jim, it's easy to forget, isn't it, that strike partnerships used to be the norm.
Absolutely, Peter, but partnerships have proven themselves to be very productive over the years. They carry more might.
And we've had some legendary ones, haven't we?
Yeah, and how it usually works is that you've got one target man with the other striker playing off him and just looking to add another little bit of devilment.
Zanetti, defending his corner stubbornly, stood up very well to his man.
They've got to make this nice and quick.
Varane cuts out the pass. And here's Hullet. Now it's Nedved. Well, the movement is slick, the speed is slippery. The defence, though, able to hold on this time. And that was very necessary. Searching passes played there. Oh, well played. That has snuffed out the danger.
Oh, look, this is about as tentative as it comes. Hopefully, a football match will break out soon.
Lahm made a surge from fullback, as it turned out unsuccessfully. And here's Hullet. Hullet! Well, now it's a race for the ball. Oh, he's been caught on it here. Out of play for a throw. And it's Lahm. Out again for a throw-in. Vieira. Takes the shot! What a hit! What a hit! A rocket anthem! That is a gem! An absolute gem! And we have liftoff! And that is stunning. Just too hot to handle.
And I think he's even surprised himself, Peter, in how well he caught that.
You felt it was coming. 1-0.
Well, that gives them the privilege to control the tempo of the game. It's up to them to manage it from here now.
Now it's Schneider. Nedved. Quality ball. Now it's Nedved. He's found a way through.
There they go, hunting again.
Well, that's pretty clear. It is a foul. And no surprise, that's a booking. Messi considers his options. So a genuine chance to increase the lead. And it's Lahm. Now that looks a decent ball. Now it's Pato.
It looks very much like they'd be happy to settle for this narrow lead at the break.
And that's been intercepted.
That's great positioning, so good from him.
Schneider. And the two sides separated by the game's only breakthrough moment to this point. And the score is 1-0. Oh, good-looking ball. Vitinha. And for the first half, that is that. Well, it's certainly simmered along nicely so far. Just the one goal in it, and it's all still very much up for grabs.
Yeah, I like the fact that there was a genuine flow to this game, as well as intent. But I can't help feeling that their efforts deserved that little bit more.
So it has been pretty frantic here. Everybody eagerly awaiting the start of the second half. So we're underway for the second half.
Well, if you're ahead, it's a good time to start moving the ball quicker, Peter. Entice your opponents out. See if you can open them up a bit more.
Hazard. And he cuts out the supply.
Bangladesh really look like a team that's set up to absorb pressure. They don't mind being on the back foot.
But with something up their sleeve.
Yeah, they clearly feel they can hit hard on the counter-attack thanks to their pacey options.
Well seen. Saw that coming.
He read that really well and stopped it.
Oh, that pass isn't the best. And it's Hullet. And he is deftly away. Bangladesh appear to be happy to let their front players stay up front all the time.
Well, it's signalling to the opposition that they're setting themselves up for the counter-attack. It's plain and simple.
Oh, truly brave defending.
If you were looking at the shopping list of what you need in a top defender, that's it.
Hullet and Hullet! And he was there to get a vital touch.
Really anticipated that well, didn't he?
And we have our very first corner. Cleared away. Midfield! Oh, that was a brilliant save.
I think he's done great there, both reading it and dealing with it.
It's their second corner of the game. Last-ditch defending, but that'll do. And now they can spring out of defence. And Hullet! Oh, split-second reaction.
Hullet actually didn't do an awful lot wrong, to be honest.
Aimed beyond the defence. Nedved. Now it's Pato. Now it's Hullet. Takes on his marker. He's going for goal! Oh, he has leathered that.
Well, the keeper looks perplexed. That was hit with real ferocity.
Hullet. No, again, there's no way through.
They may end up with some regret with this tactic, but you have to admire their commitment to goals.
And that interception was most necessary.
That was well played, well stopped.
Works it forward. 1-0 as we head towards the end. And no, that was never going to make it. Vieira, who's set up one goal so far.
This usually is the time teams go into conservation mode.
Now it's Nedved. That's a shade optimistic. Gerrard. Oh, good read. And that is that. Relief, finally. Now at last they can enjoy the taste of victory. Fingernails bitten to the quick, but they... Well, what a sight this is. The colour, the choreography, the camaraderie. The fans have pulled out all the stops to make this a monumental occasion. Well, the stage is set for a stirring showdown here. The supporters in great voice, and there's a real sense of anticipation in the air. Game on. And that gets things running.
Now there's a player with a silky pass and a steely tackle.
Xabi Alonso.
Yeah, a midfielder renowned for his tremendous array of passes while offering his defence a solid shielding presence too.
Players don't come a whole lot better in his position, do they?
Not really, and not many can boast the same quality of performance either, Peter.
That is good alertness. Well, quality clearly deserted him at the crucial moment.
Yeah, he just didn't seem to...
Pato! Superb from Pato!
Well, this is already looking rather ominous for the opposition. When a player of his calibre can open up the scoring with a brilliantly classy finish, it could be a very long match for that defence to prevent it happening again.
He just absolutely speared that in.
Well, that was hit with genuine ferocity. You just don't stop those, Peter.
Japan are already chasing the game. They didn't envisage that. It's a searching pass. Lovely, now then. And the shot! And that's a sharp finish. They are purring, truly purring. Pressure? What pressure? He feels none of it.
Well, at one stage, he was being body-checked, Peter, and then the next minute, it's in the back of the net. That's wonderful striking.
So that's 2 now without reply.
And things are much healthier in their favour. Mind you, you would have thought that when the last one went in.
Oh, he's managed to get himself offside. And here's Roberto Carlos. Roberto Carlos got a long way forward to join the attack. Now it's Messi. Well, now here's a good battle, bicep to bicep.
Oh, really well played.
Messi, showing good feet. Well, the defence proved infallible then, but that won't be the last they'll see of him. Well, that is not the best ball, and he offers an apologetic look.
Ah, he made it look a bit predictable.
Now it's Pato. Azar. Xabi Alonso. Well timed, excellent interception. Pato. Little doubt, that is a foul. And the referee has shown him a yellow card. It's a good 30, 35 yards out, this. He went for the curler. Zanetti. Passes short and sharp. And it's Pato.
Well, that's good defending. He squeezed the play and he gave him no chance to get on the turn.
Oh, easy pickings there. Out towards the flank. Azar. Tries a shot! No, just not quite.
That is a really good chance missed, Peter. Certainly the way he's been playing.
Messi, a player who needs no introduction. Roberto Carlos scooting forward. Xavi Alonso. And here's Pato. Pato unable to make it happen for all his good intentions. And it's Pato. Some intricate passing, looking to progress the ball. And it's half-time. What do you think we're up to after 45 minutes?
Well, Peter, at 2-0, you're faced with the choice of just trying to see the match out or forcing the issue even further. I'd always be inclined to go for the latter, go for a third, especially with a full half of football still to play.
Well, who could have predicted a scoreline like this after just 45 minutes? The sides separated by 2. So we're off again. Azar. And here's Eto. It's Eto! He's got a goal! Barely into the second half, and already it is heating up. That is so good, such sharp skills, and such a delicious finish.
Yeah, he gets top marks for that finish. I honestly thought his odds weren't that good.
Japan cut their deficit and look raring to go again.
The manager must have given them an earful at half-time, and fair play because it seems to have worked. They've got to kick on from here now.
Too much on it, and that is an easy claim for the keeper. And here's Azar. And the pass is intercepted. And here's Eto. That's a lovely, neat pass.
Eto really was well marshalled there because he was denied the opportunity to turn.
Pirlo. Now it's Eto. Eto, good driving run.
That's exactly what they need to keep doing. Carry on plugging away and eventually you might just get that little break.
This is a really front-footed approach.
They just need to sort out their end product, and quickly.
Now he's got space here. Can he finish? And that's in! They have hauled themselves right back into it!
Well, I always thought they had it in them, Peter. They upped the quality as needed, and once they got going, they were awfully hard to stop.
Another moment of magic, a real wow moment.
It's beautiful poise. I mean, most players in that position, I think, would probably fluff that, but not this fella.
And now he has 2. So time for change, and this one has been on the cards for a little while. It's turning into quite a gem, this.
Well, this is to be expected, Peter. When you've got 2 strong teams of fairly equal standing, the outcome should all come down to finishing.
Knocks it into space. Maldini cuts out the pass. Ribery is a player who's always giving defenders headaches. Roberto Carlos.
Oh, great feat, that.
Bergomi did well to emerge with the ball. That's a contest to keep an eye on. Half an hour gone in the second half. And Bale! Oh no, that could be a costly miss.
That could yet prove very pivotal. Chances like that just can't be wasted.
A probing pass. And that's been intercepted.
He read that really well and stopped it.
This is intriguing. Next goal critical.
It's a very open game and an exciting watch. There are no signs of nerves or caginess from either team. This pitch is go-for-it territory right now. Well, that might be that, Peter. Maybe both sides just going to have to settle for the draw now.
Eto was alert to the possibilities, but in the end it's fruitless. Deep into stoppage time. Plays the return pass. Added time is up, and there goes the whistle. A draw, and a highly unpredictable one. Fair share of momentum shifts, highly entertaining until the very end. How would you summarise what we've seen today then, Jim?
Yeah, this looked the most likely outcome, but we've had a good variety in this game, despite it being anticlimactic.
The noise is just about reaching a crescendo here as these two sides get ready to lock horns. This is football at its finest. Just listen to that noise. This place is definitely up for it. Let's hope we get a contest worthy of the setting. So that's got things underway.
I think we're actually in for a treat here, Peter, because we get to see Hristo Stoichkov. Never one to stay in the same position. He has a lovely instinct for his trade, and his trade is goals. Many of them.
Indeed. Bulgaria's best ever, surely.
Always kind of makes me feel he's going to score.
And this is Nedved, and he's lost his man here. Skillfully cut out. He is so at ease on the ball. And that is well cleared. Spread it left. And he's managed to get free. And the goalkeeper's got a good palm to that. Caught offside that time. Engages and forces him off the ball. Can he get on the end of this? Well, now here's a good battle, bicep to bicep. Well, the movement is slick, the speed is slippery. The defence, though, able to hold on this time. Pato is sporting a guilty look after that.
clearly is miffed, having made the run and not get picked out.
Cafu demonstrating his defensive quality there. That is a jarring tackle, but apparently nothing wrong with it. Oh, good read.
That was well played, well stopped.
Stoichkov. Oh, that pass isn't the best. Valverde! It's anyone's ball now. Oh, what has happened here? Threads one in.
A lot of space here, a real opportunity.
And the assistant referee has his flag raised for offside. Referee's given a throw. Ah, good steal. He just read it. And it's Doué. Neither of these two want to come off second best. Bergomi does really well to win the ball there. Chance here to counter. And he plays one through. And this is Messi. He's found a way. And Messi! That was superb goalkeeping.
Messi really must be thinking what he has to do to score there.
And we have our very first corner. Oh, good climb! He doesn't look too happy with that.
Yeah, he may have snatched at that a bit, even though it was quite close.
Doué. Truthfully, it was hard to see any better outcome there. Well, there's no such thing as a bad time to score, but this would sure be a... Bullet! It's in! And a trademark move ends with the inevitable classy finish.
Yeah, when you're hit on the counter-attack like that, it's like walking into a sucker punch, and they're dazed.
So the first goal of the game.
Well, I think the next 5 to 10 minutes will call for real focus as the opposition will inevitably react.
And it's Stoichkov. Midfield. Now it's Pato. And he's got away from him. And this is Hullet. And Hullet! Rude Hullet! That is just a piece of art! That is a gem! An absolute gem! A quite incredible spell. They are flying. There was to be only one outcome.
Peter
Doué! And the keeper has reacted superbly there. And that signals the end of the first period.
Well, I don't think most of us were expecting a second, Peter. It's become pretty much the ideal half.
That certainly seems to be the case.
And that ought to encourage an even more ambitious approach in this second half, Peter, with control already established.
Well, who could have predicted a scoreline like this after just 45 minutes? The sides separated by 2. And we get things going again. And that's been intercepted.
He read that really well and stopped it.
And here's Hullet. Oh, he's burst through.
That was lovely, that.
And Hullet! Incredible! Just incredible! He gave it plenty and some. Thrashed it in.
I think it was probably past the keeper before he even saw it. Incredible he got so much power with so little backlift.
And that means just one thing. Match ball.
Well, he's made this game all about him. He's got a fantastic appetite for goals.
3-0 and things are starting to look awfully cosy. Goes for goal!
That dugout has had some relief at least, but now the harder work starts. They've got to push for more.
Oh, he's bustling through here. Hullet! And that is great goalkeeping.
Hullet clearly felt that distance wasn't an issue, but maybe there were better options for him there.
It's their second corner of the game. Terrific effort! And it's there! Just cruising! They are cruising! Great corner, and he did the rest.
Yeah, it all came from some really smart movement, Peter. Did the defence let themselves down by not picking him up? I think the boss won't be amused.
Things looking so easy, almost too easy here. Now it's Pato. Oh, nicely intercepted. And he cuts out the supply. Now it's Stoichkov. Lovely pass, but can he get there? Very nicely done. That is great defending, so alert. And a shot! Well, now it's a race for the ball. Messi.
They'll want to be quick here. It's breakaway time.
And he's looking to catch him up. Well timed, excellent interception. Quality ball. And he's intervened well there. Has a look and plays it forward. Tries to pass it through. And that's a simple one for the keeper. Now looking to orchestrate a counter. Midfield. Looking for the run. And the through ball. That is good alertness. Neymar. Neymar. It's Neymar! Oh, denied at the last.
Well, it's almost like he had too much thinking time there, Peter.
Corner number 2 then. Schmeichel gets his hands on it and the danger is averted. And now a sudden chance to counter. And it's Pato. And here's Hullet. And he's... Hullet! It's a goal! And this is getting ridiculous. Borderline crazy.
I can see some heads dropping here now, Peter. I see things getting even worse out there if they're not careful.
He's got 4. That is remarkable. This is a gloriously greedy performance. And he's found a way past.
That's good play from him.
Good running, strong and purposeful. Foul and a free kick in a very dangerous area. He knew what was coming. That's a yellow card. Well, this is worrying. He is not the sort of player who tends to stay down. Messi with a real chance here. This the perfect chance to extend the advantage. Messi! Keeper always had the measure of that. And there goes the final whistle. Well, that was a shimmering, sizzling, scintillating game. The key characters glittered throughout and did what they did when required. So bring it on. Hype, expectation, emotion. The game yet to kick off. The excitement already palpable. There's nothing quite like match day, especially here. This crowd doesn't do ordinary, and we should be in for something very special. So off we go then.
Well, Peter, at this stage we often focus on the creative and goal-scoring talent, but I'm going to mention a defender in Lilian Thuram. As good as they come for me, very strong and athletic and competent in every other department you care to mention.
Just about the perfect defensive specimen.
Yeah, and I think often underrated.
And we have our very first corner. Zanetti with the clearance. Tries to play it. Can he finish? And he was there to get a vital touch.
Suarez clearly thought he had the beating of the keeper.
It's their second corner of the game. Goes without saying, that was poor. Pressure stays on, it is a corner. So, third corner of the game. He's rising! Crossbar comes to the rescue. Not a bad try by any means.
He probably had a good view of it as well, Peter. Obviously, an inch or two lower, and that's in the back of the net.
No, he's not getting any further than that. Oh, he's going to be disappointed with that. Alarm. And that interception was most necessary.
That was well played, well stopped.
And he's managed to get free. Pele will not want to lose out here, not against this opponent. Pass somewhat off target. And it's Cristiano Ronaldo. Pirlo is the team's great visionary. So we're still where we started right now. Looking for the run. And that could set him on his way. Oh, shooting chance! They've scored! The first significant strike. One sweeping move executed with deadly efficiency.
Just when they thought they may be in at one end, they end up shipping a goal at the other, and it's all due to wonderful counter-attacking. They hardly had time to even react, and there's only one word to describe that: clinical.
You felt it was coming, 1-0.
Well, that gives them the privilege to control the tempo of the game. It's up to them to manage it from here now.
Oh, easy pickings there. Schneider. Looking for option. Big chance! Oh, it's hit the post! Well taken goal. A game of thrills, all square in the blinking of an eye.
Well, if ever you want to see a lesson in responding to a deficit, that's it. Their heads didn't drop, and now their chins are up.
Pele at his razor-sharp best there.
Well, I admire players who do that because they just don't give up on anything.
Shoot! And that's a good finish. And again they hit the front. He does it all with an air of efficiency and simplicity.
Oh, that's excellent composure because the keeper put as much pressure on as he could by not committing sooner.
2 goals on the day, and he may not yet be done. So we have a breakthrough. Now how will things develop from here? And a shot! And no mistake. And the lead lost no time at all.
Yeah, they say that fortune favours the brave, and we've just seen an example. This team has real personality and character.
Perfect placement, the one place the keeper couldn't reach.
He had the whole picture in his head, Peter. He didn't even look at the goalkeeper.
Lexington dragged themselves back again.
You've got to commend that, Peter. It's the perfect response to falling behind. Don't let your heads drop. Just get back up the pitch and level the scores again. This is cracking stuff.
And it's Luis Suarez. Now it's Ribery. Oh, it's played into the area. And that is well cleared. Defending of the desperate variety. Bale, very much a man of this moment. Oh, well measured. Engages and forces him off the ball. That's the end of the first 45. High octane, high tempo, high scoring. That was quite a half of football. And neither side holding back here. It has been quite a half, this.
Well, it's been played at such a frenetic pace. I'm amazed it's only been 45 minutes. I'm wondering whether these players are going to be able to maintain that energy.
Well, it has been a high-octane first half, full of action, both sides with 2 goals going in at half-time. The second half is up and running. Maldini. Over to the other side. Van Dijk is a perfect combination of brain and brawn. Schneider. This is a promising build-up. Xavi Alonso. Ribery. Oh, facing up to his adversary. This is a formidable matchup. Lexington appear to be happy to let their front players stay up front all the time.
Well, it's signalling to the opposition that they're setting themselves up for the counter-attack. It's plain and simple.
And it's Inzaghi. Xabi Alonso. And he's made sure that's not getting through. And he cuts out the supply. Griezmann. The defence opting here for strength in numbers. Bale might just make this. Vitinha. Inzaghi. Xabi Alonso. Driving through the middle.
That's just playing it safe and simple.
And this is Del Piero. Takes a shot! And a neat finish. And they get themselves in front. Stylish in the extreme, a delicious goal.
Oh, how does he get the ball to do that? He's on another level to most of his peers.
Well, this is what we've been waiting for.
It's so often the case with goal scorers, little influence, and all of a sudden, bang.
He has found the way through. And this is Bale.
I think the message here is quite clear, Peter. They want another one and will seemingly keep going until they get it.
Well seen. Saw that coming.
He read that really well and stopped it.
Great vision. Griezmann.
Yeah, they were looking for a counter-attack.
Nice sequence of passes, this. Now then, the ball's come loose.
Well, he certainly wasn't in the mood to take any risks.
So their fourth quarter of the game. flair! Went with his head, but couldn't steer it in. Alarm is one of the key ingredients in the team's attack. Confirmation that there will be 2 minutes stoppage time. Keep the ball. And that will be the final act. Well, that was close. Both sides playing their part in a great game of football. A real ride that had... Well, football is, of course, ultimately just a game, but for the next 2 hours, it might not feel like that. The stadium is full of noise and energy. This certainly matters. A fabulous show of vivid colour and vocal cords. The new look Camp Nou at its best. So straight into the action. Well, Fabio Cannavaro may not be a giant in physical terms, Jim, but his reputation, his presence are as imposing as they come.
Yeah, he's proved positive that being a top-class centre-half isn't all about physicality and height. You know, he's only 5'9", but he's imperious in the air.
Oh, he's been caught napping! And that's been slipped through. Oh, now he can run away with it. And the finish! Oh, that was a brilliant save.
Nedved actually didn't do an awful lot wrong, to be honest.
And we have our very first corner. Rijkaard gets it away. And now a sudden chance to counter. Now it's Batistuta. Shin to shin, bicep to bicep, and he wins out. And this is Messi. He's picked his way through. Shapes to shoot! It's hit the upright. And he's taking no chances there. Now it's Hullet. And it's Hullet. So we're still where we started right now. In with the challenge. Gerrard proves too strong. Now it's Messi. Neatly clipped into space.
Well, he got rid because he was under pressure.
Iniesta can see things others simply cannot. And here's Thuram. Chance! Goal! Barcelona! Barcelona are in front. It was a great finish. He put it away with great poise, dead-eye accuracy.
That's just a fabulous, fabulous finish. Anything that close to the frame of the goal, 99 times out of 100, the keeper's not getting there.
Barcelona have penetrated for the first time.
Look, he's the one everyone expects to put the ball in the net. That's what he's paid to do.
Well, he's not happy with that challenge, but the referee has let it go. And here's Pato. He's beaten the last man. Decent chance! Terrific effort, just off target.
Well, he does strike a very pure ball, doesn't he? It's great technique. Barcelona really are one of these sides that pride themselves on their ability to maintain possession.
Yeah, and some would say that means they play the game the... Well, that's pretty clear. It is a foul. And no surprise, that's a booking. Messi is behind this one.
We could be looking at a game-changing moment.
Messi! Messi! Oh, that is beautiful! That is a gem! An absolute gem! That is remarkable! All square in a matter of moments!
Yeah, they say that fortune favours the brave, and we've just seen an example. This team has real personality and character.
Well, that was wonderful in every regard. Vision, concept, and considerable accuracy.
Well, he made it look effortless. Clearly a training ground perfectionist.
We're looking at a different game now.
Such a big goal, Peter. Just when the opposition thought they could turn the screw, they're back to square one again. The manager will be absolutely delighted with such a response.
Thuram is having a shot! Goal! Barcelona! And again they hit the front. Speed of thought, efficiency of movement, and certainty of outcome.
And the first thing he's going to do here, Peter, is thank his teammate for the pass. It put it on a plate for him.
Barcelona have their lead. And it's been hooked away. Iniesta. Maldini does really well to win the ball. And that signals the end of the first period. That was a very watchable and entertaining half of football. And it's fair to say that both teams have played their part. It is quite a game, breathless and laced with excitement.
Well, I think the message from the manager at half-time will be pretty simple, Peter. He's going to want them to play at a higher tempo, press more, higher up the pitch, pass quicker, and entice the opposition out of position. He knows how crucial the next goal will be.
Well, that just about sorts out the first 45 minutes, and we'll be back with the second very soon. That gets us going once more.
Well, I think in these circumstances, it's all about how to adjust the balance of your team. I mean, you want to get back in it as soon as possible, but without leaving yourself too open.
In the end, they found themselves penned in, nowhere to go. Now it's Thuram. Knocks it out wide. Pepe is one of those players who's known for reading the game better than anyone. A heavy challenge. Barcelona can breathe again, just.
You know, it was an intervention that had to be made. Serious trouble lay in store.
Well, they are still trailing, and they require a change of fortune. Chance for a shot! Oh, it's a fair try, but just off target.
Suarez certainly knows that he's missed a real chance there, but he can't dwell on that. He needs to pick himself up and move on.
Costa Curta. Marquinhos. And they've got rid. That's a throw. Vieira. Played out towards the right wing. Now that looks a decent ball. That is lovely.
Well, that's certainly more like it. They can't let the intensity drop now, Peter.
Well, they're looking a whole lot more urgent now.
A lucky break would certainly help their cause now.
Bale! That is special! Gareth Bale! Oh, it really is a finish of the highest order. What remarkable powers of recovery.
I could watch this every week, Peter. Talk about strength of character. Wonderful.
Well, how's that for a class finish?
Well, he's a defender's nightmare. You try to send him one way, and he just slips the other.
And in a trice, the substitute has scored already.
That's just as the manager would have seen it. An impact sub.
So again, we have parity.
Well, this is to be expected, Peter. When you've got two strong teams of fairly equal standing, the outcome should all come down to finishing.
Vieira gets his final warning.
He just needs to find the control button on his aggression before the ref does it for him, Peter.
Roberto Carlos taking charge of the dead ball.
That's just playing it safe and simple.
Just about up to 75 minutes. And here's Gerrard. He's shifting through the gears here.
What a letdown when you've got such presence and movement.
Neymar gets flagged offside.
Don't you just love the level of intensity here? Neither is prepared to back down, and to be honest, that's how it should be.
So changes afoot here, and from both sides. He can run onto that. Now it's Mbappe. Dani Olmo is wide and looking to get onto this. Bullish header! And no, he couldn't find the finish.
Mbappe fully appreciates that he could have won it then, and now he'll be all the keener not to lose it.
Threads one in. Marquinhos has given away a free kick. And the referee has shown him a yellow card.
Well, that might be that, Peter. Maybe both sides just going to have to settle for the draw now.
Now it's Yamal. And he's made sure that's not getting through. Oh, this looks sharp. And this is Luis Suarez. Can he get on the end of this? Shot could... surely! Oh, that could be pivotal! Oh, that has got to be it! This has to be it! One sweeping move, executed with deadly efficiency.
Well, it's an example of counter-attacking at its finest. Real cut and thrust.
Well, they've done the hard part. Now to survive the last few minutes.
Well, these last few moments are going to be pretty frantic, I would think. And
a chance! Oh, he's got that all wrong, and it's a penalty. So a big chance now from 12 yards.